Yay, welcome to Firecat First Friday. I'm Susan Price. I'm the CEO of Firecat Studio, and we are a user experience and strategy firm that helps companies and organizations make better experiences to better meet their business goals and different kinds of users' goals. With me co-hosting is Chris McDermott. We've been doing this since 2008. Right, Chris?
Yep, and having fun the entire time,
We are
learning and having fun at the same time. Thank you. Welcome, everyone.
We do marketing strategy, digital strategy, websites, a lot of user research and usability, accessibility. So if you need any of that stuff, feel free to reach out to us. Or if you have suggestions for topics that we can cover, you can look at our YouTube channel or firecatstudio.com to see what topics we've covered in the past. But I'm super excited that we have Caitie Skaggs, who is a Firecat. She has provided us with virtual assistance services for years, and she's amazing. And part of her magic is that she uses all kinds of crazy, inexpensive freemium tools to make things more efficient. She's a genius at making things more efficient and thinking through the implications of any process. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to my smart friend, Caitie Skaggs.
Thanks, Susan. Hi, everybody. So I'm Caitie Skaggs. Just to give you a little background about myself, I work at Farm Bureau Bank. I'm the marketing and product program manager. And right now I'm working on launching our new mortgage company. So that's super fun and a really big puzzle, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. I've got some awesome teammates here with me. Hi, bank friends. I also do own a virtual assistance company. So my main gig became my side gig, and I've got my teammate Lally here with me. He works with me there. So at Very Good Assistance, I specialized in helping small businesses and nonprofits with admin and IT services. And my favorite thing in the whole wide world is making stuff more efficient and removing barriers and roadblocks for productivity for everybody on my team. So I do that by helping businesses and my teammates pick really good tools that are not going to cost them an arm and a leg, and helping those tools talk together so that we're not duplicating our efforts in different areas. So today, I'm going to talk about collaborating in the cloud. So using some of those SaaS tools to work specifically with teams who may come from different organizations. I've worked with a lot of teams from different organizations, and communication and task management can be a real challenge for those folks because maybe we're not using the same, tools on either of our ends. I've definitely had the experience, and maybe some of you have shared this too, of having, oh, I'm getting a text that some folks can't get in. I'm not sure what to do about that. Sorry, guys.
Well, that's no good.
Okay. I just wanted to text him back really quick. So I've definitely had the experience of working on projects and teams of people from different organizations, and they don't use the same tools. And so sometimes communication and task management can be a real challenge. I am looking at you, G Suite users versus Microsoft users. So that's definitely presented some problems in the past for me. So I'm going to talk about some of my favorite tools today. All of the stuff that I'm talking about is either has a free version or it's really cheap because we don't like to pay money for stuff that we don't have to. So yeah, I'll get going. So like I mentioned, we've got folks who are using, all of their work stuff is through Microsoft. They're Outlook and Teams folks, and then we've got like G Suite folks who are using their like Google Chat and things like that. And then we're all familiar with tools like Zoom and different platforms like that that we might be using. But I've got a few other ones in my hat. So I'm gonna share. Hang on a second. One day it'll work. So I'm going to kind of go over the tools that I'm going to share, and then oh, hey, that's me.
Looks good.
Cool, thanks. So I'm going to talk about task management tools that I really like. I'm going to talk about an asset management tool that I really like. I will go over how to make some automations happen between those tools to make them work together a little bit better. And then, so I'll do like a live demo of Zapier, which sounds like people are scared of automations, but this is like a low code, no code sort of solution. So totally doable. And then I do have a poll in case I don't have time to get to all the other cool stuff I want to talk about. I have a poll if you guys would like to answer. Now I'm not sure how to launch it. Can you help me out with that, Susan?
I am sharing the link on, okay, I see the poll.
Yeah. So I've got a poll there that as you guys are participating and listening, I want to know which of these things you guys want to hear about, because they're all cool stuff. But I want to tailor it to y'all. So take your time, answer that, and we'll get to that at the end. So let's talk about, that's not what I meant. Let's talk about the task management tools. So a lot of people are familiar with all kinds of task management tools like Asana, Trello, ClickUp, Teamwork. I've tried all of them, and each of them have their merits. But I want to show you my favorite, which is Monday. I really like this task management tool because it has a lot more use cases than just task management. So this one does let you try it for free. I think it's $8 per user per month. And what I really like about it is it's very visually simple to understand. And there's a lot more use cases besides just task management. So I'll get into that. I have, let's see. Fran loves Monday. Yeah, social calendar management, totally. So this one, I don't have a live one anymore because I don't do client work for VGA anymore. So I made this dummy one so you could just kind of see the features that I'm talking about. So it allows you to make these workspaces and you can add teammates to collaborate on it. I've just got a basic task management thing here. So, maybe we've got a bucket of tasks that's social media. So maybe that's our, we've got to create, let's see, July content. And then maybe we've got to schedule the July content. So on and so forth. What I super love about it is I can write updates here and mention anybody by name, and it's going to ping them if they've got their notifications set up to their email. It's pretty similar to other project management tools and other task management tools. I really like that you can attach files if you'd like to, and it's really just drag and drop. And it shows a log of activities. So if I say I'm working on it, it's going to show like Caitie started working on this here. You can set the person who's responsible. You can set a due date, and there's any number of other sorts of little, dependencies and sub items if you want to like put steps underneath that. It's a pretty basic task management tool. I want to show you the other stuff that it does because I've used this tool to do donor management and donor relations for a nonprofit before. which was super helpful because those donor relations tools can be really expensive. And who's got time or money for that when you're a nonprofit? I've seen people use it as a CRM before. Again, it's really nice that I can keep my CRM in here with my task management, kind of use one tool so that I'm not back and forth through all kinds of different stuff. But why it's really valuable for people who are working with different, on teams of people from different organizations is that you can add whoever you want to your team. So you're not running into the issue of your, shared Google task list not being shareable to your Outlook friends. And you're not running into the opposite issue of your, Outlook task list not being shareable to your Google friends. So that's super cool. Let's go in and we're going to add a new workspace and we're going to just play around. Maybe we'll make a CRM. So I want to show you guys all the templates that they have and they're ready to go. I've also seen people, you can do your invoicing from here. It hooks up nicely to QuickBooks. It's a built-in integration that's super easy to set up. If you want to do design, if you've got creative processes, they've got a nice social media planning tool here. The world is kind of your oyster and you don't have to make it yourself. So that's super, super duper helpful to me. Let's go check out that sales CRM though. We've got marketing activities, real estate CRM. Ooh, this one has a nice map feature to it. Let's just go to this guy. So it's already planned out for you. It's similar to a HubSpot or a Zoho, one of those free CRM tools. And we can take it and hook it up to your MailChimp if you're doing email marketing, or we can connect it to your Facebook Messenger if you're getting leads through Facebook. Wherever these folks are coming in, they can dump right into here.
This is part of, Caitie, this is part of your genius, is that not just picking out great tools, but making them interweave with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, that's super important. So you can check out up here, the integrations that they just suggest are Twilio, Slack, and Google Suite. Twilio is that's a fun one. Twilio is a platform that allows you to build out like telephone communications. So it's not like just a telephony service, but you can automate SMS messages. You can put a chat bot in there for SMS messages. You can create like phone trees so that when a new client calls in, it rings all of your sales team at the same time, or it rings them in a round robin fashion so that the leads are evenly distributed. That one's a little advanced. I got to say, you have to be able to code a little bit. They do have a drag and drop builder, but it's a little tough to use, but super interesting. So anyways, back to the integrations here that Monday offers. They've got them built in right here, so you don't have to go mess with it somewhere else. I like messing with it other places, but some people don't. So perhaps, you've got a due date that's coming up for your this deal that's in your pipeline. So it's going to send a message to your Slack channel if you turn this automation on that says, hey, do the thing. If you've got, let's see what kind of cool stuff it's got for, not Slack, but oh, I think I just clicked on the Slack one. That's why. So it integrates nicely with all kinds of things, and they've done all the work for you so that you don't have to mess with it, which is super helpful. So like, let's just do a Slack one really quick because I have Slack open. When an item is created, notifying the channel. So this is like when a new deal comes in, it's going to send it to my Slack channel where everybody can see. So
I'd be interested to hear how many people use Slack.
Yeah, so I know it's, I know it's a tool that a lot of people have been using for a really long time. I don't love it for everything, but it is really useful for people who are working from different organizations. So I'll give you an example from my work now. I work for Farm Bureau Bank, and I am working on launching the mortgage company. So Farm Bureau Bank and Farm Bureau Mortgage are two different companies. So we both use Outlook. We both, have the same teams, the calendars, everything, but we're not in the same organization. So I have to go through a lot of rigmarole to get those folks to talk with each other. Whereas if we just use Slack, we can add anybody that we want. If we hired a contractor for something, maybe a consultant or something like that, they can join our Slack channel and not have to go through like I said, if they're, not on our teams list, they're not in our organization. Slack makes it a lot easier. Let's see, auto-populate fields of four items, created an important name. So like, let's say a new deal stage was created in this, I haven't done this one in a while, so I can't tell you it quickly. So really it's just drag and drop, follow the directions, and you can set up the automation there. I don't want to spend too much time on this one because I have a lot more to talk about here. So definitely automates with Slack. We'll send those messages to Google, to any of those other applications. Does anybody have any questions about Monday or any other neat use cases that you like to use it for?
I was just going to tell McD that I have been considering moving us from Teamwork PM to Monday.
Yeah, this has my attention.
Yeah. And I was a Teamwork convert because of you, and I used Teamwork for a really long time in my business. And I gotta say, I like Monday better because it's just.
Whoa. Are you saying you like Mondays? Sorry, sorry, go ahead.
I do like Monday better because it's just like more visually intuitive.
That says a lot. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
You can tell the other one's Teamwork's engineer designed.
Absolutely. So like if you're a software developer or something like that, and you've got to like take a much like more deeper dive look into some process that you're doing, sure, Teamwork's great. But for people, if you're working on a team of broad talents, I feel like this is easier for general users to understand and actually make use of, because the worst thing you can do is buy a tool and then people don't use it.
Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. Fran mentioned that she uses Monday with a client. I'm interested in people's experience and your experience in having clients join whatever tool, because we've had mixed success to the point where our core team uses Teamwork and we don't expect even everybody on our team to use it. We're sort of sock puppeting some of the people.
Yeah. So my experience with adding consumers or customers to like my clients to Teamwork is that they don't get the full usability of it. They don't understand it because this is not the thing they work in all the time. It's really difficult to get them to use it. I feel like Monday is a bit easier to understand. You do have to pay for a seat for them, which is unfortunate. Teamwork, they can be a guest user. But it's, I think, like $8 a month per user. So if it is something that you're like, in my case, I do virtual assistants. So I need a good task management and communication sort of area to work in. And if my clients aren't already using a task management tool, this would be one that I would totally recommend for them. And I can either make the workspace for them, because I'm an assistant, or I can load their own workspace that's just talking to me. These are the tasks Caitie or Lally needs to do. And this is how we can communicate what needs to get done. I also like it because if you decide that, they need their own task management system internally for them, they can just add you to their workspace. So I had a client a while back who was launching their company, and they had to get a lot of materials together, marketing materials and educational materials and stuff like that. So it was really hard to figure out all of those moving parts. So I created a Monday space for them so that their whole team can work in it, but also I can be added to it.
Yeah.
And what it looks like from a user perspective is, and I don't work in that Monday account anymore. Otherwise I would show you. But what it looks like from a user perspective is I have one single login to Monday, and I can just switch back and forth between workspaces.
Like Basecamp used to be that.
Yes.
Before it got complicated.
Yeah, it's really complicated now.
Is that single login based on your email address?
Yeah, so this is a single
Right.
login with my email address.
Okay.
And if someone added me to their workspace, like it would appear,
Right.
all of the workspaces I own would appear here, but all of the workspaces other people have added me to would also appear here. So it makes it a lot easier when you're working, if you're a freelancer or an agency who's working on a lot of projects, it makes it a lot easier to not have to switch back and forth between, okay, let me like take my teamwork cap off and come put on my ClickUp cap, because, you know, gear shifting is really hard for that. I've got experience in that, and it is not fun. So it's nice to have it all in one place. And to be able to have, you know, like say I have a workspace that's just VGA, I can add another board here that is my CRM or my whatever. So everything can be contained. You know, this is my task management, but then I've got my CRM, then I've got my asset management, you know, where all of my files live. I've got, you know,
Curious, does that file integration integrate with Drive or other storage like Dropboxes and things like that?
Yes, it
Yeah, here we
does.
go. See, there we go.
Yes, it does. So anything that you put into Monday, you can set up the integration to go to, I think they do Box, they do OneDrive.
Nice usuals.
Yeah, so it is really nice for teams across different organizations, because like I want all of my files, I want to be able to share things with you easily and you to be able to go look it up, but you don't have access to like my internal systems and my server where all my stuff is.
Right.
So I can put it here and we can all look at it and get to it easily. And anything I put here, I can make it back up to my own system, to my, you know, to my own server.
Right, and
So
I think that's a real important point for a lot of us, like you and us, that are consultants that have many different hats and jobs and places to do things. That to have that flexibility is really nice. To depending on the client, whatever their situation is. Like some we have are state clients that can't even use anything Google related, versus others that are sign me up, bring me in as a user. I'm all about it.
absolutely. And like that is a real challenge when you've got diverse clients like that. It, you know, finding a tool that's going to work for them, but also not like kill you to use. Like when you're spending time managing all of the details instead of doing the work you signed up to do, like it's unnecessary. So using a tool like this is super helpful. Let's see, what's Fran say? We have clients as reviewers or something in Monday, so they don't create and manage tasks, but they can peek in and look at what we're doing, comfort level and or oversight. I super love that, because sometimes I set up a system and I don't want people to mess with it because of reasons. So like maybe like you need to see what I'm doing, but you don't need to fiddle with the process. Like that's a really good point, Fran. Also, like there's a level of vulnerability and discomfort when it comes to, you know, in my situation, when I was a virtual assistant, when I work with a small business, I have to ask for all of the keys to all of their stuff. So anytime I can give an extra layer of security or comfort to someone, that's totally like a really high priority.
Yeah.
It's scary as a small business owner to like, okay, here's my baby, please don't mess it up. So I totally get that. Do we have any more questions about Monday or?
I think we should move on. We've got we're at 12:30, so.
So I will really quickly show you my number one 100% favorite tool of all time, and that's Airtable. I love it because it's free. And again, just like Monday, it has a lot of different use cases. You can, I've built a CRM here before when a client did not have a budget to pay for anything. You can, it's a relational database tool. So if you can use Excel, even kind of, you can use this. I feel like this is easier than that. I really like to use it. So I did a lot of social media marketing and social media management, and I like to use it for that. So I can show you one of my social media calendars in just a second. I've also seen people use it for expense tracking. I use this database tool to, you see ugly task database, or like weird stuff that I've made where I just needed somewhere to put data so another application can take it. So this is a nice place for data to be stored. So that, application A sends the data here. Maybe it, for whatever reason, does not like to talk to this other one, or some filtering action needs to happen. This is a great place for that. I don't want to get too bogged down in that right now. So let me show you. This is a social media calendar that I'm working on. I really like Airtable because you can view it in a lot of different ways. If you're planning out social media, you're gonna do it in a calendar. But maybe I want to have a more visual way to look at it. Oh, now I can see all of my graphics. Maybe I want to look at it in a list view because I separated out by these are all the different kinds of posts that I'm making. So it really helps me to be able to visualize what this campaign is going to look like. It tells me from a glance, okay, I know that my goal is to post 3 times a week, and I can see like I've met that goal pretty well. Or like, oh, there's a hole in this week and I need to put something else there. So you can take a look at it. So this is where I put in, this is just the title of the post, where I'm planning to post it, what stage of production it's in. So we have a pretty rigorous compliance arm. So everything that I plan, I have to run through compliance, which is in a different company than I actually work for. So this is a really neat tool for that. I can put in my caption. If you've got multiple people working on it, I can say like Caitie's working on this, or Clarissa, whoever, is a member of that database. I put my go live date and time in there. I like to classify my posts by types because I want to put one testimonial a month, and I want to put, one team shout out a month. And these are my, my standards that I need to be met. So if I classify them that way, I can see like, okay, all those metrics, all those goals are met, and I can fill out the rest with whatever else I need.
So did you start from a template, or did you invent this? And can I buy it from you?
I worked with a few different templates, but I did make this one to how I like to make it. And this is just a Caitie thing. It's really similar to a couple of other ones that Airtable already has. And just like Monday, Airtable's got oodles of templates for everything you can imagine. But yeah, you can totally have it. I really like that. I need to fix this, but I've got this dates to remember tab that says, all right, well, I've got Mother's Day and here's when it happened. And this is when it's going to happen next year. And this is when it's going to happen the year after that. So when I'm making content there, it's going to pop up in my calendar. So
I'm so excited about this.
Yeah. So I haven't filled this guy out yet because my blog brainstorm lives in OneNote right now. But I really like, you can add different tabs here so that, after I write this blog, it's stored here. All my graphics can be stored here, and I can link this record to a social media post that I want to make that says, hey, I wrote this new blog, come check it out. So all of it lives in the same place, and it's just wonderful and lovely. So that's that on Airtable. And yeah, I'm totally happy to share this with you.
Does it hook in with Hootsuite or any of the other posting tools? Or
I think it probably does. This might be like me being controlling, but because I have such a rigorous compliance deal, and also I'm frequently working on other people's social media. So I kind of like that stopgap of like, this is not going to talk to that because I want to actually have to put my eyeballs on it before I say, yes, post this. So yeah, I think you probably can do that. I haven't actually done it myself.
I'm guessing Fran is nodding of the cautiousness. Also, like for just happened with the Uvalde stuff or other
Yeah.
upsetting news, it's kind of nice to have some thought before you post your happy crappy, posts right after something awful has happened, or it's so easy to sound tone deaf if you let things automate.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I do schedule, like I plan it this way so that I can batch schedule it. So it's good to have your eyeballs on it multiple times so you can remember something weird happens in the world or something awful happens in the world. Like, ooh, I need to go check that I don't have something dumb being posted this day when we need to be like reverent. So having that, yeah, I totally agree, Fran. Having that big fat firewall, like as much as I love to remove like roadblocks, this is a time when I need it. And I'll show you another thing that I do here. They've got these little apps and automations that you can use. Some of them are paid. I'm just going to put that out there. But I have an app that I use called Page Designer, and it lets me like make a PDF report of all the stuff that I'm working on here. And the reason I use that is because I send it to another company who does our compliance, and I don't want them to edit my stuff. I want them to give me feedback, but I don't want to give them access to actually change it because I want to take their feedback and see what's going on. Also, like this may be too heavy a lift for my compliance person to come in and doodle around in my Airtable. So it might not be worth their time to do that. So I make this pretty little report and I just email them a PDF of it. So that's super helpful. Just look, don't change. Yeah. Sometimes that's what you need.
We have a question about this, if you don't mind, from Michelle.
Yeah.
Hi, Michelle. She asks, are the social calendar posts in Airtable clickable that goes straight to the platform, or is it just to an editorial? Good question.
Are the social calendar posts, so I'm going to pull this one up. Are they clickable? No, this is just me saying I want it to post to Facebook.
Okay, so that's noting the eventual platform that the message
That it
here
will
that's
go
being
to.
edited will land on. Okay.
Yes. This is just my notes on it. There's other tools like social media scheduling tools that I can get to later where you can make your editorial calendar in it. Like Loomly allows you to build posts just like this in it. So does Hootsuite. The thing I don't like about that is, again, this is a big fat firewall that makes me not do dumb stuff before I press publish. So I like doing this. So in this case, I send a PDF to compliance, but in other cases in the past where I manage social media for my virtual assistance clients, I'll give them access to the database. And let me show you where we at here. Yeah, so I added Abby, my client, Abby Wilkie-Mackey, who I met through Susan, to this database. And when we're making our posts and we have a question, I can just say, at Abby, this is what we're thinking of doing. Can you give me feedback? And all of the feedback is recorded here. All of the changes are recorded here. So you can know what's going on in the whole process. So if you want your team to be able to work collaboratively with you, you can do that. If you want someone to look and not touch, there's another way to do that too. Any other Airtable questions?
We're good.
Cool. All right. So I want to talk about Zapier, which is another one of the awesomest tools ever. We are not all developers and we do not all know how to make all the things work how we want it to work all the time. So we use tools like Zapier, which is a no-code solution to get to make automations happen within whatever SaaS tool you're using or between multiple tools. Zapier, you can get the starter version for free. There is a paid version if you need more tasks done, but you can definitely start for free. There's some features on Zapier that you do have to pay for, like they've got webhooks or like automated SMS messages and things like that now. They've gotten a lot of cool new features lately. I think those are paid, but basic stuff, it's free. So you can come here and search for like, I don't know, any old app you might want to use. They've got, you know, ClickFunnels, or I like to, you know, you can use your MailChimp, you can use your Google stuff, you can use, you know, anytime you post on Twitter, the same content gets posted to Facebook. So you can set up those kind of automations to make a whole lot of cool stuff happen. So I want to show you, a lot of people are scared of it. They think it's complicated, but it does not have to be. So I'm going to make a pretty easy automation that my team needs. Well, they don't need it yet because our business is still pretty small, but we will need it in the future as we start getting more leads in. So as I said before, I work for Farm Bureau Bank, and we have a mortgage company that's a separate company. The marketing is handled on the bank side. I'm the marketer. And the sales is handled by the loan consultants of the mortgage company. So I manage the social media. And when someone messages us on Facebook, I don't want marketing people talking about sales stuff because we can't really speak to the details of it. We're not mortgage experts. So we can run into a real problem there because we don't know what to say. I think probably a lot of other people have this issue too, like the disconnect between the sales folks and the marketing folks. So when we get a message in from Facebook, I'm like, oh gee, what do we answer? So right now it's an automated, you know, hey, give us a call or we'll be back to you shortly. But that puts the onus on me, the marketer, to say, oh, hey, salesperson, please call this guy or please message them on Facebook. I also don't want to give my sales force access to our Facebook page because I need to be able to control our message and make sure it's compliant. So this is a nice stopgap measure to work across 2 different teams in 2 different companies. What I'm going to set up is anytime we get a Facebook, it would help if anytime we get a Facebook message, I want that message to go to our Slack channel so that the sales team can see it and either call that person or take some other action. So they know about it and it doesn't have to come through me. Because, you know, what if I'm sick or not paying attention or something like that? Like messages get lost in the shuffle. So I'm going to connect Facebook Messenger to Slack. And I'm going to say, when we get a new message sent to this page, I want it to send a channel. Yeah, send channel message. Okay. And feel free to stop me and ask questions along the way. So Zapier's got this lovely step-by-step instructions of, you know, how to do everything. So you don't have to write weird stuff or even know a whole lot about it. It walks you through the whole time. So I'm going to pick which Facebook Messenger account I want to use. I manage a lot of people's social media, so that can get kind of dicey. If it's not already loaded up in yours, which if you're a new user, it won't be, they'll give you a link to add your access to Facebook Messenger and you'll just log into it and it will appear there. I want Farm Bureau mortgage messages. I don't need very good assistance messages to go to these folks because they don't work for there. And you'll see any, so when you're a page admin on Facebook of multiple pages, all of those pages that you've given access to Zapier for will appear there. So you can choose whichever ones you like. So I'm probably going to set up the same automation for very good assistance in a little while. So I'm going to test this trigger. Well, maybe somebody needs to actually send a message. So let's see. I'm going to go to Facebook over here. And I'm going to send a message and I'm going to say, all right, and we'll come back to Zapier and I'll say test trigger. Bam, my message came right through. It tells me the username. It tells me the time it was sent, the time zone I'm in, which is important if you're working on a team and your sales team is, you know, on the West Coast and your lead is coming from the East Coast, it would be really inappropriate for them to call them, when it would be, in the middle of the night somewhere else. So I like that it gives you the time zone too. All right, we'll just keep continuing. I'm going to connect my Slack account. And then I can pick the channel. I made a specific Slack channel just for social media chats. And when it comes across, when a new Facebook message comes in, this is what it's going to send to Slack. So I'm going to tell my team, we got a new Facebook message. Details. And it pulls over all of this data. So you can say, I want my team to see the sender's name. I want them to see the message. And maybe, if you're international, you want to see where they came from and maybe what their language is. You might want them to see the time zone. And then I'm going to add text after this that says, please claim to follow up. So if I have multiple salespeople and this message is going to all of them on the Slack channel, I don't want 3 salespeople reaching out to the same person. So the salesperson would say, got it. Me, Jeff, I'm going to go talk to these people. So that's the message that they're going to get. I'm going to send it as a bot so it doesn't look like it comes from me. You can name it whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. A lot of these fields aren't required. You're just going to go through these fields and, if you want to change it or set it exactly how you want it, you have a lot of opportunity here. If there was a link, like I don't want somebody to come mess with my Zap. So I'm going to say, no, I don't want you to change that. If you want to attach an image or something like that, this will appear every time. Do I want to auto expand links? Yeah, I want any link that comes through that message to be clickable if somebody sends that. If you want to schedule this message to sometime in the future, you can do that, which is super neat. So maybe you have a use case where a sale is finished and you want to set a Slack message, for a month from now to say, hey, sales team, go check in with this person and see how they're doing. And if they like the product, maybe get a review for us, something like that. So all kinds of cool use cases there. If you want it to be part of a thread, you can do that. I don't want it to broadcast to the whole channel. I want it to stay in that social media thread. So I'm going to continue and I'm going to test it and review it. And I can see Zapier says it was successful, and I can come over here in my Slack channel and I can see we got a new Facebook message, details, Caitie Skaggs. This is a test message. They're in the US, please claim to follow up. And so my salesperson would say, got it, calling them. So that's what it looks like. And then I just publish the Zap and I turn it on, and that's that. Super easy.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan, I'm chiming in 10 minutes time.
Thank you. So that's a lot of people are like, when I mention setting up automations or using Zapier, it seems like a scary thing, but I made that happen in less than 10 minutes, and it's going to save a lot of time.
It seems the scary part is actually, and this is what I love about it, is this makes it easy to do, but you really do have to think about what do we want it to do and who does it need to tag, and in the right way so it's not spammy. I mean, you were making some real clear points there on, yes, this group, no, not the channel, those kinds of things. It's really,
so
I love that kind of stuff. Yeah.
You do have to put a systems hat on and really think about all of the implications of like what the action is that you want to happen. So like that's a skill that a lot of people have to develop before they can do this. But I really like about Zapier that it explains all of those things to you. So if you are unsure about what you might need or what the function might do if you put some sort of data there, it's going to tell you. It says, if you want this to appear this way, do this. And Zapier,
that's nice.
Yeah, it's
right. Rather than leaving it up to you to figure out what the implications means of the choice, it's giving you a common use example or whatever.
Yes. So like when it asked me if I wanted to send it, send it as a bot. well, I'm in the read only mode. When it asked me if it wanted to send it as a bot, it says, I don't know what that means. Like, I know there are Slack bots, and it says, if you choose no, this message is going to appear to come from you. So I don't want my team to think that I'm sending this message. I want it very clear, like, this message is coming from Facebook, not from Caitie.
Right. The machines are talking to us. Right.
Right. So I just really like how it explains it at every step of the way, and it gives you examples. And Zapier has so many help articles. I can't tell you how many times I've been making a Zap and go look for a help article and be like, oh, that is like the coolest use case ever. I want to make a Zap for that now. So super awesome, favorite tool. Does anybody else have any like questions about Zaps? Let's see. I have a Zap with my Airtable, thanks to Caitie, but still scares the bejeebus out of me. Yeah, Michelle, that one was kind of complicated.
We don't have any open Q&A, but the poll is showing Loom is having popularity right now.
Loom. Okay. Yeah, this is a really great tool. So I'll shift over to that. So Loom is it's a screen capture and recording application. It's free if you keep less than 25 videos in your queue. So basically what this guy does is you can show someone, you can see all of mine are like Canva demo, how to embed this new thing. Like, I tell people a lot how to do stuff. But I've also seen people use Loom for if you need to put a video on your social media, like you're trying to make an Instagram reel or something like that, and you're sitting in front of your computer, you can use that to record you. And it works really well for asynchronous meetings or communications. Sometimes you might have a really difficult concept to explain, and an email's not quite going to do it. So you can make a video to show someone, like, let's say you're contacting your IT department because some error is coming up on your computer and it's difficult to replicate. Make a Loom video, replicate that error so they can see what's going on. So there's a desktop app for it, or you can just use the web app. You just click new video, record a video. This is going to ask me to open it may give me grief because I'm doing Zoom right now. So you can select if you want to do screen and camera. And if I select camera, oh, that's not a great picture of me, but it pops right up in the bottom.
So it's giving you grief could be considered Loom and Zoom. Sorry, it was just sitting right there.
It doesn't seem like it's giving me problems though. So, but what I'm
Very
trying
smooth.
to, yeah, you can select if you want screen and camera, screen only, or camera only. So we'll just start the recording. You can pick, I've got 2 desktops open right now. I'm going to record from this desktop. Gives me a 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to say, hey, I wanted to explain this difficult concept to you. I'm making these edits in your calendar. I'm doing blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I'm telling the thing that I need to tell them. I click stop, and it's going to populate into my Loom library. And this is I'm going to change the title to Loom demo. You do have some really simple video editing tools here. Like if I wanted to trim a clip or something like that, if I want to add a call to action, you have to pay for that, but they've got some pretty neat stuff. But the trim and clip, if you want to shorten your video or edit out a piece of it, that's free. So to share this video with my friends, I can click share, and I can either email it to them, or I can just copy the link and go paste it into my email.
I have a question about those links. I'm assuming those links are active and work as long as you keep it in that list of 25 you mentioned.
That's a really good question.
Until you pay and see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So can
you download it?
Yes, you can. So if I'm making a tutorial on a thing that people always ask me about, I'm not going to leave it as a link here. I'm going to download it and stick it in my Google Drive. You can automate that, by the way.
Nice.
So I'm going to download it and stick it in my Google Drive so that my team can look at it and say, these are all the training videos. If you're bored one day and you want to know how to do a thing, Caitie's probably explained it already. So that lives there forever. And I can delete it off of this one. So you would just you grab the link here, or you can download it here.
That's really nice. They offer that alternative instead of forcing you to stay in the environment and upgrade. I hate when I see that, but this is really nice. I see why it's popular.
Yeah, and when I go store it in my Dropbox or my Google Drive or wherever I'm storing it, I can send the link from there to whoever needs it because that's always going to be live.
Right, that's your perma location for it, right?
Yeah.
Does it have a download direct to one of those sources, or do you have to bring it to your machine?
You have to set up and I don't know if it does it.
Might have a connection. Yeah, nice. Because for big stuff, you may not want to. Right. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. I mean, there might even be a Zap for that.
Yeah, probably is.
There's probably a Zap for that. Let's go.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, from what we were showing earlier.
Let's see. Maybe Loom. No.
Oh, close. Loomly.
Maybe and Loomly is the social media scheduling platform that I really like. So, but I think there's a built-in automation that you can do.
Either that, or I could see that being a premium because that's going to be, someone doing a lot of work, video type company maybe.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's
really good.
My library. That's all the tools I've got. Does anybody have any burning questions or interesting stuff? Want to know about more use cases? So much easier than Premiere. Yes, it's so much easier than Premiere, and also it's free. So, yeah. Any other questions or anything? Well, if you guys have any questions, need to troubleshoot a process or a pain point, or you want some video tutorials from the stuff that I've talked about, feel free to shoot me an email. I'm also going to put in the chat right now all of the links to all of the tools that I talked about and also the ones I wanted to talk about but didn't get to. So hang tight for that.
This has been really, really good stuff, Caitie. Really nice.
We knew that this would be amazing. I've seen Caitie do this similar sessions before. There's never enough time. You guys, are you interested in this kind of stuff? Would you like to have her back at some point when she's not too busy with her new job at Farm Bureau? And
yes.
Just
thumbs up everywhere. Yes.
Dig in more with this kind of stuff. I would like to do a separate session we've done with Abby and Kate in the past of tools that where everybody gets in and types at the same time. Mm-hmm. Those kinds of live collaboration tools. I like the idea of having a separate session on that. And maybe we can have Abby back.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, Abby's a wealth of knowledge as far as like tools goes. I mean, like her area of expertise is a little different from mine, but she's a workshop facilitator. So she just has so many neat things that I just never knew. Every time I talk to her on Zoom, she tells me about a new feature and I'm like, holy moly, I didn't know that was possible.
She's amazing. Yeah. And just making the remote experience that we are all getting really familiar with just much more collaborative and engaging. There's just a lot we can do to keep people's attention and not have it be on I'm sitting and consuming content.
Right. Absolutely. Or having to wait on, like, a lot of these tools take out the waiting period between someone doing their part, preventing you from doing your part, which is super frustrating.
So thank you so much for doing this, Caitie. It was fantastic, of course. And we would love to have you back if let's talk about, in a few months.
Cool. That sounds great.
Do you have another couple of minutes or do you need to go?
No, I have a couple of minutes if anybody.
Okay. If you want to come on camera and ask a question or just chat, share something of your own. Hi, Hiram. Feel free to just come off mic and ask.
I have a quick question. You did mention leaving teamwork and into Monday. Mm-hmm. Is there any sort of migration possible there?
Yeah, there is. I didn't actually leave. So
okay, you
I
did a little bit of both.
DGA stuff to Monday. I recently, this is what I'm recommending now. So right now our workload is low enough that we don't super need a task manager. But if I was going to pick one up again, I'd pick Monday. I like Asana a lot too, but Monday just has a lot more stuff. Like there are more use cases for it.
The better usability is nice, especially if you're
Yeah.
entertaining using clients with it that, may not be
Yeah.
into this kind of thing.
No,
We have a
and
hand up.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just pointing. We have a hand up, Michelle.
Oh, hey, Michelle, what's up?
Yeah, I have, I feel like Zapier is the pain point for me. And I know that there's so many applications that use it as a plugin. And I would love to see a special um, Firecat or whatever on just that tool and how many different applications you can use it as a plugin. Because yes, we use Slack at work. I've got the plugin for my Airtable, but I use other tools, and I would like to be able to automate a whole lot more than just my emails going out through Airtable. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't know why it's such a pain point. I sort of, back in the day when everybody was like using Access, and it didn't matter how many classes I took, I was like, screw it, I don't know it.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's difficult to understand like how data relates to each other, and how to map it where you want it to go and what you want it to do. And that's the skill that you have to learn. Zapier takes like, you don't have to code anything, and you don't have to just like start from scratch. Like, it takes that out of the equation, but you do need to have an understanding of what function you want to happen and the implications of that function, and like how the data needs to move and what it needs to look like in the end. And I feel like that's the really challenging part about Zapier. I've definitely had some real head scratchers trying to make something happen, that I just couldn't figure out because I didn't know how to map the data right. So yeah, that's a tough one. I would say the best thing is just getting some reps in with simple stuff for a while, until you can get to like whatever other bigger ideas that you have, that you want to do. It is just one of those like practice things, I think.
Thank you so much. This was
Thank
such
you.
a great presentation, Caitie.
It
Thank
was
you so much.
fantastic.
Really good stuff. Thank you, Caitie. Fantastic.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on. And,
We'll see you next time.
all right, absolutely. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Have fun, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.